and welcome back to another episode of the Mixed Media Menagerie. As you know, this is a collaboration between Laura, Nicole, and myself, and if you are new here, hello, and welcome. This month we also have Nina as a lovely guest artist. I will put all her information and links down in the description box below, but I cannot wait to see what we all create. So first things first, happy fingers, spirit fingers. I'm so excited to be back and creating again with you guys. But let's check into the kit. I got my hot little hands on the kit that is available over at Peacecraft Love. So let's take a peek at what is included inside this kit. And this was created in collaboration with the Menagerie gals and also the lovely Anna over at Peacecraft Love. And there's going to be a chance for somebody to win one of these kits. So stay tuned to the end to hear how you can do that. So first we have a huge Uhu glue stick, which you know we all love. And then we also have here a Lyra graphite pencil. This is one of those big fatties that I love. It's water soluble. Look at that. It just right on your hand instantly. You got some graphite, but you can use it in water as well. So we'll be utilizing that this year. Save those baggies because you can definitely use that in some artwork. We have some really cool Tim Holtz ideology tags that we can use. So that'll be fun. And then we also have some blank assorted tags, just a couple different sizes here from Dina Wakely, and those also we could utilize in this year's project. And of course, an awesome palette knife. Everybody needs a good palette knife in their life. And I'm rhyming today, aren't I great? So our February sponsor, as you know, is Peacecraft Love. Again, I just wanted to pop that in there, so be sure to check them out. I will have the link down in the description box below. And we also have, look at this fun, cool little ephemera kit. And I believe all of them will probably have a little bit of differences in between them, so that'll be fun to see what kind of goodies you get. We got some tags, some fun little papers. There's like a cool little envelope here with lots of goodies stashed inside. So this will make creating a little bit easier this year. You don't have to have the ephemera stuff that we have or feel like you're missing out, because you can grab one of these cool kits and this stuff will be included. And then also we're going to do prompts a little differently this year as well. So we're not going to do as many. It's going to be a little bit less. We're going to do like 3 each month. And I think that that will make things a little easier for us as we're creating. We're also going to have a new journal. Dun, dun, dun. This is the Stillman&Birn's journal. It's a sketchbook. So let's jump into this here and see what I think about it. I'm very excited that it's a smaller size, so it should make things a little bit quicker for us to art in, but also all of the pages are white. So I wanted to just kind of take you in a little journey of how I start my sketchbook. So we're going to peel off the paper. It's like a ritual for me. I like peeling off the paper. I love feeling all of the pages of the cover. The cover has this beautiful kind of like soft petaled feel on it. And then I just go through and I open up each page. I love this journal. I've worked in a lot of the Stillman&Birn journals because they are like a lay flat. Now, when you get to some of these where the signature, they're glued together, then they get a little bit tougher, and that's why I like to kind of open them out. But I'll go through the entire journal this way, flattening out all the pages, and then I kind of give it a little extra loving and, sort of beat it up. I just want to break the binding a little bit so that way I feel like it's not so stiff. And this kind of also, for me, takes away that feeling of, the scariness of a new book. It feels more like it's a nice friend that we've gotten to know. So, all right, now, what are we going to work with this month? And I wasn't sure if that cover was like the first page, like if it was an actual page or not, but I'm going to go ahead and use it as one. So here is our prompts for this month. We've got a palette knife, we've got a wax seal, and some stitching. So this will be interesting. We're also going to have a tag along. So if you create a video or over on Instagram, be sure to use these 2 hashtags, and I'll tell you all about them at the end as well, because that is going to make it so everybody can see your videos. You can just tap on that hashtag in YouTube and it'll pull up all the videos with that hashtag. So it's kind of like this tag along. It's almost like a monthly YouTube hop. So that will be a lot of fun. So if you have a channel and you want to play along with us, be sure to use that tag. So here to begin, I'm just putting some washi tape all around the outside of my journal. I've decided that this year I want to leave a border around every single page spread to kind of make it feel like this finished book. I love something about having that that feel, the white, beautiful white crisp edges around the page spread. It just gives it a really finished feel. So to begin with, I have some gesso here, and I'm going to play with the brayer a lot. I'm going to bring in a bunch of colors. Again, I will put everything that I use down in the description box below, so you can find those colors out there. But yeah, I'm going to throw on some music. We're going to just layer up these colors, and I'll check back in a little bit as we move on to the next layers. So we're just continuing to build up our layers. I got a little bit off camera here, but I have another color that's like this kind of purplish color, and I'm just adding that into the page a little bit more. Now, all of these layers, it may look like, geez, you're just like covering over the layer that you had before, but all of these layers are going to build up and give us this depth. So little different colors are going to peek through at different parts, and I love that about this kind of spread, just like throwing on the colors. Where are you feeling? Where are you going? So yeah, so that is what I'm doing, and you'll see just, covering up, like push color on, pull it back, push color on, pull it back. Again, it's just all about the feels of the page. Where is the energy going and where do I want to take it? So now we're going to go ahead and dry that really good before we move on to our next step. I'm going to bring in a stencil. I've got one of these worded scripty stencils, and I'm going to grab some of the Liquitex spray paint. So here it is. It's just in black, and I'm just going to give that a good spray, and we'll gently pull that off. And there we go. As you can see, some of my little friends on my table got sprayed, and I had a hot minute of panic and had to wipe everybody off, and I was just like, oh goodness. But you know what? It's the first artsy video of the year. We're just going to get all that fun, crazy, weird mishaps out of the way, right? That's what I'm going to keep telling myself. So I put a little bit more of that purple on to push back the script, and now I have some lovely flat Payne's Gray, and hey, here's the prompt, a palette knife. So here I've got my palette knife, and I'm just kind of scraping on that paint. And then as I was putting this one on, it felt like almost like there could have been butterfly wings right there. So I was sort of scraping that out to remind myself that I think maybe I want to add a butterfly there. It always fascinates me how through these layers, things just emerge. And I just kind of flow with whatever starts to become on the page. I didn't start out thinking I wanted to have a butterfly. I didn't start out thinking I wanted to add like this crazy dark Payne's gray, which gives it this moody, kind of broody feel, but that is where I'm rolling with it. I have just some water on my paintbrush and I'm softening the edges of that paint. So I'm just going in, scrubbing out a little bit of the paint and then pulling it up with a paper towel. So that's what I'm doing here, and just kind of leaving a little bit of the bits of that darker color there, but I definitely want to leave the darkness where that butterfly is, because I have an idea now that I'm feeling that flow. So once we've got this all pulled up where I feel like I want it, we're going to go ahead and give it a really good dry. So we'll dry that up. And then I'm going to bring in this amazing butterfly stamp. I believe it is no longer available. I got it from Stampin' Up! Forever ago, and I have some white ink, and I'm just going to stamp this on there. Now you don't have to use this butterfly stamp if you want to create alongside me. Just use what you have on hand or draw on a butterfly. That would be amazing too. So there we go. I've got my image, and I'm just going to wipe up some of the little edging there. As you can see, I took an acrylic block and put it underneath the front cover of my journal because it was a little bit flat there and I wanted to make sure that I got a good stamped image. So now I've got some electric purple pastel chalk, and I'm just adding in just in the bottom corner and the top corner of that. It's just going to bring in a little bit more of that purple, those lovely muted shades, just another layer of color. So that is what I'm doing here. And as you know, I love using my hands in my artwork, so I'm always touching and mushing and spreading with my fingers. All right, so now I'm just kind of taking a moment, and what do I want to use next? That wax for the wax seal. Now, I don't really want to use the wax seal yet. I had this idea that I just wanted to play with it. So I'm just going to drop some of the wax on my page here, just a couple little droplets here and there, almost like it's sort of moving up the page. And then I'm going to take this kind of scrubber, I think it's like a nail art tool, but it's like a little dotter. And I'm just going to use my heat gun to remelt those dots and just scribble it all over the page. Just have some fun, get in there. My inner child is loving this, just little circles and swipes and whatever, but I'm going to do that across the whole page. Wasn't that fun? Get a little melty and waxy. So next I'm thinking I need to bring in some stitching, and I'm going to run my book up to my sewing machine and add a couple little fun stitchy lines. So we're going to do that, and with the power of technology, pop, there we go. I used a pale kind of grayish color so it wouldn't really pop, but you could see that it was there, and I left all of those stringy bits so I could run my fingers over them because I love that too. And now I have this really neat kind of plasticky like webbing netting that I got from Hobby Lobby in their floral section a long time ago, and it just was the perfect color that matched with our wax seal. And this is where I'm going to add my sentiment, but I'm going to just kind of cut it and make it look a little bit more organic, like maybe it melted onto the page. So I'm just sort of going around and deciding how I want to have that put on there, and then I'm going to bring back my wax and I'm going to glue it to the page that way. Won't that be fun? And then here I'm going to take that, I'm not going to use the wax seal itself, but I'm going to use the flat edge of it and sort of push down the wax to really get this little netting piece kind of glued to the page here. And I'm also going to take that wax and create a little background border for my sentiment. So here you can see me doing that. And yes, it looks kind of dangerous with that flame right near my hand, but I assure you I was very safe. So there we go, we've got that. And now I have just a little Tim Holtz sentiment stamp. I put some glue on the back of it, free to fly. I thought that was the perfect sentiment to go with our butterfly today. I wanted to add a little bit more of the white on the page, so I just have a white Jelly Roll pen, and I'm just going to put a bunch of little crosses all over the page, bring in, some little accents, handwritten by myself here, and then I'm going to take my finger and mute them out a little bit. I don't want them, pop right in your face. I want that butterfly to really stand out, so I'm just going to go over just kind of a couple little bits of it, not all of it, but just to brighten it up a little bit, and add a few more little X's here. Just kind of looking at it, deciding what I want to do. I like adding some art marks here and there. It's not something I do a lot, but I'm really starting to get more into the doodly side of adding things to my artwork. And once I feel like I've got all of those little art marks there, we are going to go ahead and grab our heat gun and start pulling up the edges. Now this is one of my favorite things to do. We got a little bit of extra there, but this is like the finish. It's fully complete now, and really that white border helps that butterfly pop too, so I'm super excited about that. So while I'm doing that, I will take a quick moment to remind you that you could be a guest artist in our collaboration as well. There is an application, a link down in the description box below. And also, maybe you don't want to be a guest artist, but you want to play along with us. So be sure to use the tag along hashtag so we can see all of your videos here on YouTube, but also all of your artwork over on Instagram as well. And while you're over on Instagram hashtagging away, make sure to check out Peacecraft Love for their Menagerie giveaway. You could win yourself one of the mini kits. That's the entire kit minus the journal for the Menagerie year-long collab. So definitely check out Anna's post over there with all of the details on how you could win. All right, now that we have all of our tape off, let's take a little peek here. We've got our butterfly, we have all of these layers of luscious color, we've got our little bits of waxy gold there that kind of goes across the page, and of course our fun stitching too. So it's really, I love that kind of flowy feel in the background. I really enjoyed getting to create with you guys today. It took me a little bit to get into it, I'm not gonna lie, but I am excited to see where this year's Menagerie journey takes me and everybody else. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Lots of love going out to all of you. Be sure to check all the links down in the description box below, and don't forget to check out Laura, Nicole, and Nina's videos as well. So until next time, happy creating.